The Syrian regime has won a victory against rebels by capturing the western border town of Qusair, with Hezbollah soldiers entering the battlefield from Lebanon to fight alongside government forces. A joint assault by Syrian army forces and Hezbollah captured the town, ending nearly 3 weeks of fighting in the strategic center. According to rebel statements, the onslaught used tanks and artillery and killed hundreds in the town. Here, in a YouTube video purportedly posted by Hezbollah, Syrian army tanks can be seen advancing. Well-armed Hezbollah infantry covers the flanks, using modern fire and movement tactics. The regime's forces had fought poorly in the first 2 years of Syria's civil war, but the tide has turned in recent months with the arrival of Russian arms and Iranian trainers. The Al Arabiya news agency has reported that Hezbollah fighters are also in combat in the vicinities of the cities Homs, Aleppo, and Damascus. Hezbollah is a Shiite Muslim group controlling southern Lebanon, whose fighters fought Israel's army to a standstill in 2006. Most Western nations consider Hezbollah a terrorist organization, but the group's regional influence and military power is unquestioned. The Syrian city of Qusair controls the road between Damascus and Homs, and also the port of Tartus, where Russian arms deliveries to the Syrian regime have arrived by ship. The Russian Navy has a military installation in the port. Some analysts have said loss of Qusair has effectively split rebel forces in half and killed more than 1,500 civilians. Here, Syrian state television shows army troops moving through the city, which, according to the report, rebels have evacuated completely. Russia is providing arms to the Assad regime, citing long-standing assistance agreements with Damascus and the fact that some Syrian rebel groups are linked with the terrorist group al-Qaeda. The United States and European Union nations have criticized the arms shipments, which they have said have contributed to a death toll in the country, by some estimates exceeding 100,000 people, with the vast majority of them civilians. The United States and Russia had planned to hold a joint peace conference this month, but the rebels have said they would not participate as long as Iranian and Hezbollah forces are fighting in Syria in support of the regime. Officials in Moscow and Washington have said they hope the conference will go forward in July.